Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
And this week we have our very first ever guest on Spare Parts. Taylor, can I introduce?
Hello, this is Peter. Peter, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Peter.
Okay, yeah, got to a good start. Good start. Okay.
Great start. Yeah. I don't know. What do you want me to say? He's just Peter.
Yes,
I
he
guess
is Peter.
the audience. The audience. Does
He
not
is
know
Peter.
this. Peter.
Peter, who is Peter? Taylor, who is Peter?
He is my partner. He is also a marshal, a soon-to-be clerk of the course at Mosport. Yeah. I think that's everything.
Yeah, that adds up.
That adds up.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
That's it.
Fantastic. Okay, so I guess first thing we should talk about this week is the most exciting thing to happen in racing in like the last 6 months. Max Verstappen lost.
He DNF'd. He didn't just lose, he DNF'd. Wow. And
Yeah.
I was okay, but like
Who
first
stayed
and
up?
foremost-
Who stayed up?
Who stayed up?
After the first two laps, yeah, 100%.
I fell asleep at lap 30.
I was totally awake the whole time.
I had it on my phone. I was watching in bed. And I guess I fell asleep at some point after the first pit stops. I woke up to curling being on the phone. So,
Sure. Steven, did you stay
Missed
awake?
it.
Yeah, I was sort of asleep by the end, but we powered
Fair.
through.
I did notice that you were like live messaging our group chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I put, because I think I was like mildly delirious by that point.
God, how fucking weak are we? We're staying up past midnight now is like minor delirium.
Well, you stayed up the whole time, didn't you?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1:30.
Well,
Yeah, 1:30. Well, that was fun.
that was No, I woke up. Okay, so here's what happened. Here's what really happened, because he will not let me lie about this on the podcast.
You should never lie on this podcast. That's why I am the greatest person in the world.
Normally lie.
I think end of year, we kick Taylor off. Peter comes in. We go through everything, and we just see how many lies we've been told.
And just fact check. Yeah.
That
Yes.
is so rude.
The fact checkers are coming out.
Anyway,
Did you watch
I
this
was-
NASCAR race? Yes. The Peter determined that to be a lie.
I did. All of the times I've told you I have watched a NASCAR race, I actually did, and he wasn't
Okay.
there to witness. So anyway,
Watching the highlights does not count.
I know that, and I will tell you if I've watched the highlights. Okay, so for this race, I watched a chunk of it. I didn't watch the beginning. I think I fell asleep,
Or
and
the
then
middle, or the end.
I woke up. Okay, I woke up. I woke up when you started yelling, "He's on fire! His brakes are on fire!" And I was like, "Huh? What's happening?" So I woke up for the exciting bit,
I
and
mean,
then the end.
did Peter exclaim when Russell crashed, and that's what woke you up the second time?
No, I didn't see that. I don't think I saw that part. Did I? I don't remember.
No,
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
did.
I think it was. I just noticed that. I think I woke up and then I checked the group chat, and Steven had said something, and I was like, "Yes, it was wild."
God fucking damn it. Okay. So, me and Taylor are effectively 70 at this point, and we cannot stay up past midnight.
We were 70.
I tried.
You almost made it to pre-race.
Wow.
Okay, I at least made it to lights out and didn't fall asleep once.
Yeah, I missed.
Sarah
time I
did
got
not.
there.
Sarah was out by 11 o'clock.
No,
That is
Sarah
also
does
a
not.
surprise.
I don't think she bothers with the early ones. Are we in Japan next race?
We'll
Rude.
get there. We'll get there. But yes, we are.
All I know is it's one of you two this time. It ain't gonna be me.
Okay, it's only 1 in the morning this time versus 2 where it used to be, okay? So, it's not so bad.
Yeah, until
Yeah,
it
but-
fucking starts raining again, and they red flag the race.
That was really
Okay,
funny.
so Steven- yeah, that was really funny. He was the one that elected to stay up for the podcast. And that's when I got red flagged, and he was like, "I'm out. I'm done." I think
Then
it
you
was like
fall-
what 3 a.m.
To
Yeah,
be
then you
fair,
fall asleep.
I started that race with you,
Yes.
True.
and then the
Yes,
first
and
red
then-
flag, I immediately bailed.
Yes.
Do you
and then-
remember? Go ahead, Steven.
I was gonna say, then you stay up to 3:30, say fuck it, they're not starting the race, go to bed, and 5 minutes later they start the race again.
Yep.
That's how this works.
Yeah. Do y'all remember when we agreed to like all stay up for the Vegas race, and then
None of us
everybody
did.
promptly went to bed except me? We were gonna watch on Discord together.
Can we fact check that, Peter? Did she actually stay up to
Yeah.
watch the Vegas race?
We were
that wasn't
Oh,
I know I did.
okay.
No
I texted you.
witnesses. No witnesses.
We're gonna
Yep.
check the logs.
Yep, we gotta go back,
Check
get
the
the
logs.
receipts, get the receipts.
Check the receipts. Anyway, the race.
Yeah, so Sainz won.
I
Thank
know.
fuck.
You know, I did say Ferrari would win.
You did say Ferrari would win,
I
and you
think
were
I said
right.
Leclerc. I think I said Leclerc would win. But hey,
Oh well.
you know, thank God. All of a sudden
I
now
feel
it's
like-
interesting.
Yeah, I feel like we're also now like, I mean, this is like one race, and this is totally going to be like, why am I saying this right now? But I feel like we can just say that Sainz 100% got shafted, and why is Leclerc still there? I love Leclerc. However, is Sainz the better driver?
Who the fuck is
Currently,
this,
yes.
and what did you do to Taylor?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one key word. It's Audi. That's why.
Oh, fair. Yeah, right.
That's why.
That is true because and yeah, given the stake of or the stake, it's not a stake. Stake of that
Steak?
team. No.
F1?
State.
State of
Are you-
stake.
or-
That's the word.
or-
Yeah.
okay.
The state of
Given the
steak.
state of stake or kick or Sauber or what the fuck that team's called right now. I don't know if that's actually such a good thing for Sainz to be going for, but yeah, he pulled off a very good drive, very good win.
Mhm.
Basically, was in control the
Well-
whole time. Pulled it for Verstappen almost.
Mhm. He did get the attention of Toto Wolff.
Until Max came on available, or potentially available.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I'm-
That's never gonna happen.
Listen, the Red Bull thing, apparently, they're all now supporting Horner. And you see how that's having an impact on that team.
Okay. This situation is so weird, isn't it? Like, huh? I'm so confused now. What is going on? We'll never know because they've essentially dropped it. It's gonna get buried. We're never gonna hear about this again.
Someone will write a book.
That's why you signed the NDA. The person who I would expect to write the book and the book I want is Helmut Marko.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy who probably would have no problem spilling the tea.
Absolutely. Considering that it sounds like he's already on the outs with Horner anyway, he probably won't care.
I mean, I would love that to see, in like the span of 5 years, Mercedes to implode, and Red Bull to implode, and then like the rise of Aston Martin, obviously.
I knew it. I freaking knew it.
Well, I would say Ferrari, but like we all know, they just
No, that's my
can't.
job.
They just can't. They
That's
just
my
can't do
job.
anything. So
That's disagree. Hamilton is going to change everything.
You got to remember that Aston Martin's getting the engine that's currently in the Red Bull.
Right. I forgot that Peter is also an Aston Martin fan. So, Steven,
Thank you,
it's
Peter.
it's us against them essentially, but
It's-
you're on your own island with McLaren,
It's
so
year 2
Exactly.
of the 5-year plan. So
oh my gosh.
Hey, and it also took 3 races into this year for Stroll to become the #1 driver. Yep, going with
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
He
Okay.
out-qualified Alonso, and then he won. He beat him in the race. You know, hey,
How are you going to take that, Alonso fan? You going to agree?
well, he beat him in the race,
All right,
and then
fine.
got the worst penalty
Be
that's ever
on
been issued.
track. In
yes,
right,
yes.
right.
Oh, I want to hear. I need to hear Peter's take on that Alonso penalty because yes, that was
It was
bullshit.
My opinion on it is, anytime now from this point forward, if a driver deviates from the racing line, it's a drive-through penalty. By the way that they penalized him for that, if any other driver deviates from the determined racing line, it's a drive-through penalty.
Which is not going to happen because the FIA is not consistent.
But that's the precedent that they set with that penalty. If you defend in any way, it's a penalty.
So dumb.
And one thing that also pissed me off the whole, because I guess, we can skip right to the end of the race with the Alonso and Russell incident. Russell immediately screaming, red flag, red flag, red flag.
On the last lap.
Oh, you know why he's doing that, though. He knows.
Mhm.
He knows if they red flag that, it's a count back.
No, it goes back to the previous.
Oh, right, because it's the last lap.
He's trying to save his own points.
Yeah, he's trying to claim red flag on the last lap just so that he can still stay in the points and not get a DNF. And everyone's like, "Oh, he was in such a dangerous position. Someone could have hit him." There's fucking flags, people, drivers.
That's why you have a
they
double
know these
yellow.
things. Yeah, exactly.
Stroll was the next car to that corner, and they were virtual safety car when they got there. So
yeah,
nothing was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He was fine, but he wanted the red flag to save his points.
Typical Russell.
Yeah.
Typical Russell.
Yeah.
Everything about that pissed me off because I don't think Alonso did anything wrong. He just drove a little more defensive. So now if you were even going to defend, or what about those times when guys really defend and they drive straight through on a corner or like a chicane, drive-through penalty?
I just hope this leads to Alonso doing his tricks like he did in Russia a few years ago, where he just deliberately blew through that turn 1-2 chicane to prove a point.
Was that the time also when he blew through it and then didn't was it Norris try to follow him through and hit the wall?
Yeah, he got the wall.
Yeah.
But he practiced it on the formation lap. He drove the runoff there, and then going into turn 1 just drove straight through it.
Yeah, just straight line the bollard.
Prove a point.
Yeah, you shouldn't be penalized for just fucking racing.
No.
Yeah. It was super, super dumb.
Doesn't get any more basic racing and defense than that. You brake early to get a good exit. That's 101.
Yeah. And not to mention now, how I want to start, or someone's definitely already started a counter of how many times on the last lap Russell's just shagged it into the wall by himself.
Mm-hmm.
I saw everybody immediately go back to, it was Singapore last year, right? Where he just absolutely nothing, just hits the wall and then
when Sainz wins again. Yep.
Yes.
He has a history. Anytime he's in near proximity to another car, he crashes. There's twice in Imola with the Bottas and behind the safety car on the one instance.
Oh yeah, when he put it.
Oh yeah.
When he put it in the grass,
Yeah.
And then and he always it's never his fault.
Oh no, it's never Russell's fault. Let's make that very clear. It is never Russell's fault.
Yeah. So for everyone, basically, the opinion of this podcast is everyone who said Alonso drives like an asshole. How about Russell just can't drive on the last lap when there's a little ounce of pressure on him?
Amen. I will sign up for that. That is 100% my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
Under pressure.
I agree. 0 out of 10.
Yeah, I would say like as of right now, because with that Russell crash and terrible weekend for Mercedes too with a double DNF.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
So terrible.
Alonso's engine goes up and then Russell finds a wall as he does. Are Mercedes the 5th best team?
Yeah.
Might be.
I mean, standing wise, they're still 4th.
I think it's track specific because they ran reasonably well in the first 2 races. I think Hamilton's just given up.
Yeah, that's
he does not look himself to start the season.
He's got nothing in this. There's no reason for him to develop that car.
Mm-hmm.
He's going full lame duck.
But when's the last time Hamilton had an engine failure?
Ooh.
And like Mercedes in general. And then it just happens to be the guy's leaving and oh no, his engine goes up. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think because Bottas had all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I want to say I think it was Malaysia.
When he
when
lost
it
to
blew
Rosberg,
up on the front straight.
like 2016.
Yeah, when it just absolutely exploded on the front straight.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't think of another engine failure for Hamilton.
Well, okay. So this, I mean, like, I feel like there is something to this too, because I was seeing Toto's comments, and he's been in the media a lot saying, he's like, well, Lewis's like quick departure, and like, I feel like he's salty, like really salty about this.
No, you think?
And he's so upset.
Would you
So
not be
I
too?
don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be happy. But also, like, what are you supposed to do? That's the nature of F1. A driver has to look out for himself, and if he doesn't believe in the program anymore, that's that.
And let's be honest, the only reason he's really going to Ferrari versus Mercedes is Ferrari is putting a very nice retirement package together for him in all of his Lewis Hamilton stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're like, sure, we'll pay you. That's good.
Solid deal to
Good
get paid
brand.
for 15 years after your career's over.
Yeah, and you get to
He's
do
getting
whatever you
paid
want.
for like 15 years as an ambassador.
Yeah,
So if he could walk away after next year and still be getting a paycheck.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that's
I
what I
thought you
mean.
were gonna
It's a
say-
great deal for Hamilton. Like, why wouldn't you take that?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you got that Shohei Ohtani deferred money deal.
Something similar, I'm sure.
Did someone also
What,
steal?
but he
Can
can-
someone steal his money and just start gambling with it?
I was just about to say, is he
Ah.
also going to get caught gambling it all away?
I mean, they're
Is-
gonna be in Japan. They're gonna be in Japan.
Is that why Angela Cullen
Yeah.
left? She was the one actually stealing his money.
She's rocked up in IndyCar.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah,
She showed up at Thermal.
Mm.
She's working with was
Oh,
it
right,
Kirkwood?
Thermal.
Armstrong.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
I forgot about Thermal. I forgot about that whole thing.
I feel like a lot of people kind of are trying to.
Okay, so it was bad.
I mean, it was
It was great
different.
marketing. $1 million. They call it the $1 million dash, and you race for $500,000. Doesn't get better than that.
Exactly. The $1 million challenge that wasn't $1 million that then was a made-for-TV event that sucked for TV. Was supposed to be a very exclusive at-track thing. Apparently was one of the best things ever at track. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what was it?
Definitely
You got-
IndyCar marketing at its peak.
Yeah, you got free food, 2 days of tickets for $500. That's actually not that bad when you think about it.
Yeah, we should have
Wait,
forked over
free
the money.
food and tickets?
Yeah, free
For
food.
2 days?
Free food and non-alcoholic drinks with your tickets.
That's actually a really good deal. Guys,
Well,
why
I
don't we
just
go to Thermal
paid-
Club?
What did I just
got no
pay
money.
for Indy? What did I just pay for? Yeah, what did I just pay for Toronto Indy tickets? It was probably $160, probably $200 a ticket
Damn.
Yeah.
for 2 days, and still paying for food.
I
so,
got renew mine. Are you guys
Or
gonna?
you can work it for free.
I have one of the best fucking seats at Toronto.
know,
I'm not
Yeah.
giving that up.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Make it better. I know the guy who does the corner sim.
Listen, because it's the same old guys in 3 all the time. That's the only place I like, and I'm not getting there.
Yeah, they mix it up. I've been there.
Fine.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I've done 3
Turn
times.
11 was where it was at.
Yeah, he almost died.
It was an interesting event. It was great.
That's okay.
Anyway.
Next year will be the last one, and then it'll be at Motor probably after that.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
putting that into the ether.
That'd be great. I would love that. It'd be
That's
fast. But it would be great.
I would shit myself. I had to work in 5. I feel like in that one.
Gravel trap will be busy.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, was that it for
Yeah.
F1?
I think it's it for F1. We can go into Thermal quickly.
I was gonna say, it's a good race when the first thing we talk about is 2 completely different tracks. That's always a good sign.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, like, I feel like overall it was a good race because Verstappen didn't win, but I don't know. We're talking, like, what's next? Japan's next, right? Japan?
Yes.
Is that this weekend or next weekend?
Next.
Oh,
No.
90% sure it's next.
Okay,
It
well, if
is.
it's at 1 a.m., Sean, we did not have a good track record, so I'm not sure 1 a.m. is going to happen, but we'll see.
No, apparently if we are all up watching at the same time, Max doesn't win. So we gotta keep that energy going.
Okay, all right, deal.
Yeah, okay.
Deal.
Steven's the one that fucking falls asleep this time. Suckers.
Probably.
He curses us.
Absolutely. That's fair.
Okay, yeah, so back to Thermal quickly. We were all right when we predicted a winner last week.
Who do we predict?
Below.
Oh, okay. Unsurprising.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, well, it's going to be obviously be a skill guy at a new track in like a sprint format. Yeah, it's going to be below.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And
below.
it was.
All right.
What did he do? Win
Good
by
to
5
know.
seconds in the heats and 6 seconds in the actual race.
Oh. Okay.
Fun.
Yeah, he just had a lapping weekend where he made half a minute.
Yeah, really, it's like a test weekend, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, they should have had more fun with it. Like, do a race with no wings.
Yeah, run the oval car.
I was just gonna say no front nose at all. But yeah, run the oval car too.
Basically the oval car. They have that. The Dallara chassis has that.
Yeah, like, I like you could have done so much more like fun, interesting things to change it up. But
Especially
alas.
if it is just an all-star race. Right?
But like,
It's just IndyCar being IndyCar.
but they tried something, and that's something IndyCar
They did.
hasn't done in fucking ever. They tried something. Now, did
So,
it go
okay.
as planned? Not quite. Was
Does it
everyone
ever?
happy? No.
Well, it's like usually year one of anything, right? Like usually something goes wrong. You can always improve, but that's what year ones are always for, right? So learn, do better next year.
And what would
Maybe
you
if
say?
you're gonna call it $1 million dash or whatever, actually do $1 million.
Yeah, what would you say if actually improve? You think actually give a big pot?
Give a big pot. Why not? Make it a little bit like higher stakes. I don't know. But like the prices sound okay, so keep that. Just make it better.
I would say make it a team event.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I was gonna say, as it stands right now, I could see some of the smaller teams not even going next year.
Yeah.
Mm.
The cost benefit isn't worth it.
Yeah, like fucking
that'd be
did the
interesting.
Yunkos lose a car?
Yunko's lost a car?
Well, God,
There was 3 or 4
Damaged.
cars got damaged in the first heat. So
Yeah.
for them, no points, no money. They just spent money for no reason.
Was it Grosjean?
yes, it was.
I knew
But it wasn't actually his
They got
fault.
rear-ended by Dixon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, Dick Dixon,
All right.
of all people, punted Grosjean, and Grosjean just went through.
Wow.
Yeah.
It would have been, I think it was Herta was the other car that narrowly missed him.
Okay. Colton Herta. Ugh.
That's thing
Shut
also.
up.
That's also with Herta. He also kind of like babied his tires for the heats because he didn't have to after his wreck, and then basically turned it on in the actual race and made like 5 spots up.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, he also babied the first half of the actual race too.
Yeah.
Like he just sat at the back and just stayed on the lead lap until because they basically did this like staging as well where they had a fucking halftime.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, because it led like the whole second half of the field once top 5 just lifted. It meant you might as well just get rid of the first 10 laps.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I would like to see it as a team event. Like if you have a team of 4, it's like 2 teams of 2, basically 2 guys, 2 pairs, $1 million. Each of them gets $500,000. There's your pot. No second place, no third place, but you gotta score the best of the 2. That would actually be more fun and more competitive.
Yes, I agree.
And
I like
maybe-
that idea.
Yeah, maybe you could have one teammate try to back up another guy into the other guy and create some fun random racing than just, yeah, we're going to kind of half-ass this, not really try.
Yeah. Again, this just goes to show that Spare Parts Pod should be the one making all these decisions. We
Fuck.
have great ideas.
Yeah, we're like the drunk toddlers of just like motorsports. Like, just let us try. What's the worst that can happen?
Drunk toddlers.
Send a letter to Penske.
Oof.
Given Penske's inability to spend money,
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna go for it.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna spend the postage to write us back.
No, so true. So true. The 50-cent stamp in the States?
I would send him an email, but I think he's too old to even understand that concept.
How old is Penske?
82.
I think he's like 84 or something. He's up there.
Ooh.
What are we saying? What are we guessing?
87.
He's
Wow.
87?
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure we had the same. I'm pretty sure we had the same reaction like 3 months ago when we Googled that.
We always do. Why is this man running the sport?
That's IndyCar. You look at every single one of those team owners; they're all late 80s, early 90s.
Excuse me, Andretti is not old.
60s.
Yeah, but he is not he's looking good for his age. He was in the Danwell, looking great.
Yeah.
He's in his late 50s, early 60s.
61.
Okay, see, there you go. Way more young and fresh. So basically,
how
sell
old
it
is
to Andretti.
Juncos? I mean,
is Juncos a guy?
Yes. Ricardo Juncos.
We need more guys like Foyt, who every year ends up in the hospital fighting killer bees.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sorry. Every single time I hear Foyt, I just think of Ferrucci, and it's...
Yeah, that's a question.
I can't do it.
But
questionable decision at best.
Foyt, in his 80s, every year at some point ends up in the hospital after fighting killer bees on it.
Well, okay, so we should learn from...
I mean, he's not dead yet, so I mean,
Oh, yeah.
That's the challenge. As soon as you turn 80, you have to fight some sort of animal. If you live, you come back.
He's doing great though. Let's be honest. I think we're all surprised he's not dead. Maybe there's something in bee venom that keeps his arteries open.
Maybe.
Nah.
Eh?
I mean, he's
Is
pretty.
this the secret?
He's an older man. He's kind of a larger man, and he's still alive somehow. Maybe killer bees is the way.
Bees?
Bees?
The bees?
Oh, Cards Against Humanity had it the whole time. Damn it! It's right in front of us.
Oh my gosh, the amount of times we used to make that joke. All the time.
Just bees. So yeah. What else we got IndyCar related? Long Beach was looking to get taken over by NASCAR.
Fun.
Speaking of...
Because we need more things taken over by NASCAR.
That would have been wild. 30 cars in the fountain.
But I feel like it wouldn't have actually been that much of a change had NASCAR gone through with buying Long Beach. I'm pretty sure they would have just made it an IMSA only race.
Okay, yeah.
It wouldn't have become a NASCAR race because why did you do that? It may be more maybe we can make it a longer IMSA race, or maybe IndyCar gets kicked down to the Saturday, basically the undercard. So I feel like it wouldn't have changed it that much. But we don't have to worry about that because apparently Forsyth, who has been, missing in action from IndyCar for the last almost 20 years, decided to buy the 50% stake that NASCAR was trying. Can't ask fucking Roger Penske to fucking open up his purse for that either.
No. Penske's purse, solidly closed.
I'm gonna fucking kick him in his purse if I see him.
You can. Oh, that could be a T-shirt for the Toronto Indy.
Oh,
it can be your alternate for the Ganassi shirt.
Listen, I still like my Ganassi dog walking shirt. Ganassi dog walking services, I think is fantastic.
No, we said this already. You have to wear all Kiffin Simpson's gear.
Yes, okay, that can be for the actual race. I'll wear the Kiffin Simpson.
Oh yes, this is the other thing. Sean is now a Kiffin fanboy.
Definitely.
He's
jumping on
up.
that jumping on that bandwagon.
It's solidly jumping on the bandwagon.
Nice.
I mean,
I can't wait for Kiffin Simpson to just be so good for the rest of the season, and Sean will just be
vindicated.
living his best life.
Wins the 500 and retires. I think we need more Stingray Rob fans.
No.
Just because of the name. The name alone.
Yes.
The name is one of the best names in motorsports. 100%.
It is true. Like Stingray Robb is a pretty solid name.
But yeah, definitely. I'm gonna say big Kiffin Simpson and Connor Zilish fan. Really big fan of these young guys coming up.
Who was Zilish?
You know
He's-
Connor Hill?
He's I
undefeated
talked about
in
him
the
last
LMP2.
week.
He's 2 for 2
Oh,
at
you
LMP2.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. I know who
and
he is.
And he put it on pole this weekend at
Right.
COTA
Oh,
and was faster than the fucking Cup cars.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
all that Mazda MX-5 Cup experience. Teaches you how to throw a car around.
I
and he-
can't wait for those to come to Mosport.
And he's 17.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, I remember us talking about 7 also painfully old.
Yes. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fun one.
Fun.
What else we got? Anything else?
Just, you know,
NASCAR.
pretty quiet for.
I
IndyCar.
mean, did anyone watch the actual NASCAR?
No.
we were
But
watching
my favorite
Xfinity.
one.
Yeah, me and Steven got to watch the Xfinity. I couldn't watch the actual NASCAR because it wasn't on TSN.
Oh, well, that's lame. So no one could have watched it.
Nope, and I paid for my TSN Plus, and it wasn't available on my TSN Plus.
Wait, what?
March Madness,
Even-
baby.
Oh, right, March
Yeah.
Madness. Basketball's taking over. Right,
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And golf.
okay, so we don't need to talk about the specifics. However, Byron has 2 wins now.
Oh my god.
So like, where does this put us? Why is there balloons?
I don't know, but that's perfect.
Every single time I do something, or this guy decides to like just do whatever. Last time it was a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and this time it's balloons. So I don't know what it's doing. It has a mind of its own. Anyway, Byron has 2 wins this season. Awesome. Did I take Bell on my little draft? I can't remember.
You did.
I think I did. Okay, and he got second. So I got some decent points this weekend. Although my cement block of Logano is still probably dragging me down very, very much.
You have 2 cement blocks.
Who was
I'll let
my
you
other
go
one?
for-
Oh, right,
I'll let you
but
go for that.
terrible choices. Anyway, but other than that, the only thing I saw was Bush and Bell kind of got into it, but more so Bush was mad at Bell. I don't know why. I didn't hear it. He was just very aggravated.
Basically, I think it was turn 1. Bell basically did a little dive bomb on Bush and spun him around. And Kyle, always known for being super even tempered, doesn't get mad at all, did not appreciate that. Bell just did not make any friends with guys named Kyle because he did the same thing to Larson like 3 or 4 laps earlier too.
Oh,
So
Are we really upset with that though? Like either
No.
one of those?
no.
it is what it is. Like
I'll
it
support
happened.
Bell.
It happened. Yeah, I was gonna say it happened multiple times with multiple drivers. It's just what happens in a contact motorsport.
Mhm.
Hit or be hit.
Exactly.
And I like Christopher Bell. He's really nice. He was good on the show.
Yes.
What? Don't laugh at me because I like the people from the show. Anyway.
It's almost like they're chosen specifically for their marketability.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I fall for it every time. I am the person that they market toward. Like, I know this.
Yes, you're generic white girl number 6. We get it.
My Taylor-
Oh my god.
and my Taylor Swift stickers.
Yeah. Like this is why we can't nice things.
Yeah, no, I am the generic white girl, 100%. I know this. But it was good. The NASCAR show was actually really good. Steven, have you watched it yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. Neither have you, have you? You
No,
haven't.
I just saw the only highlight of the weekend with Marco Andretti doing Andretti things.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Which
right.
is
Yes.
accurately described as the fell out.
I mean,
But he didn't get a penalty for it. They just announced that today.
he did?
He did not.
Why would he get a penalty?
Apparently, they were evaluating it. That's
Okay, yeah. So your truck broke. Penalize you too. Like,
Yeah.
is Marco cursed?
Maybe.
It's the Andretti thing.
But the entire axle fell off.
Yeah.
Like, that's not just the truck breaking. It, like...
Springs and everything. The entire back of the truck
Yeah.
fell out.
The entire rear. Everything literally was just, nope.
It just everything vital at the back of the truck fell out.
The video is really funny.
Yeah, it is, because the fucking thing kept rolling. It actually... The back wheels made it further than Marco.
Poor Marco. Maybe it's his year for the 500. He's had bad luck earlier. Maybe it's his year.
Okay, keep telling yourself that.
I'm not like gunning for him. Y'all know I always cheer for Ericsson with everything IndyCar, so you never know.
Let's do what I do to have like 5 guys going at all time, and you know.
Oh no,
Hedge your bets.
no. Okay, when you say 5 guys, you bet like half the field for the Daytona 500. That's like hedging your bets to the max. That's not just 5 guys. You had like 10.
Because you put like $5 on each of the guys who are actually going to probably win, and you do like long shot $1 bets over 5 other guys.
I'm still mad about
because
that.
if they win, you're. It basically is, yeah. You're basically betting on half the field because you know there's 10 people that are not going to win. They're at the back.
This is how Sean likes to justify winning money.
I'm sorry, but what do I do? Win money.
Twice. Have you won money
only
since
on
the last
super
time?
speedway events? And because you were not able to bet on the thermal glove bullshit, which pissed me off.
Yeah, it's annoying. However, I'm still mad about my 500 bet because I would have won. Really upset that FanDuel canceled all the bets because it took place on Monday instead of Sunday.
Change. Less water.
Did you say the Indy 500, Daytona 500?
No, Daytona 500.
Okay, I heard 500.
I just said the 500.
Oh, okay. You know what? That's fair.
Yeah. The first 500 of the year.
There's too many fucking 500s. But
Yeah,
yes.
the 600's all that matters.
The Coke 600? Yeah.
With a half
What?
time, sorry, with 2 300s.
Right.
2 300s, yes.
Yeah, if you could
Right,
take it out of
because
your
of-
car halfway through an event, it shouldn't count as a fucking continuous event.
That is really... I forgot that they had a halftime show at the
Yeah.
Coke 600.
Gone are the days where they used to eat sandwiches under caution in the cars. And
Is that so that they can... Although, like, most of them pee in their race anyway, right? But, like, did they stop at 300 to make sure that they can pee, like, not in the race suit?
it's a halftime intermission.
Apparently Reddick does it all the time.
You have to.
Hamlin never did, and apparently the first time he did was at the Daytona 500 this year.
Like, you know why they pee in their suits, though? Like, really.
No.
If you have a full
Necessity?
if you have a full bladder and you crash, it will go pop.
Oh, that is very true. That is very true. That would be a lot more painful than, like, accidentally breaking your wrist if you forgot to take it off the steering wheel.
Yeah. Now, shitting in your suit, that is an absolute no-no.
Can you imagine?
You know, there's one.
So, you know, I think if there is shit in your race suit, you're probably dead. You know, I think if you've gotten to that point where you've shit in the race suit, your head's missing or something.
Yeah, it might have been a actual, like,
Death.
a moment.
But you're also not going to ask someone that. Like, hey, they shit themselves and they died? Like, because, like, you know.
Usually it's a really tragic event, so, like, I feel like the first thing people won't think about was, like, did they shit themselves?
I
I
feel
can-
like that doesn't make the headline.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so anyway, this year for doing the marshalling, I cannot wait for the bikes.
Oh my gosh. Sean has been so excited about bikes.
That's what I like to hear from people.
Oh no. You are...
What?
Some of the best racing all year.
It is some of the best racing all year. It is also the scariest racing.
Why is it? It's not
can't-
that scary.
Okay, you know what? we will have this discussion after bike week. After the bike weekend, we will have this discussion. And I'm going to hold you to that when you see how close to the ground that they are. And when you see someone go over a hay bale.
Yeah, but if you ask them, they say that's safer. Because in a car, you're strapped to the car. So if the car is going to barrel roll, whereas in the bike, they let go.
Yeah, like it's all context, right? Because like, yeah, it's safer to not be on a bike if you're crashing a bike. The context of the car is the car hits the tree, not the driver, versus the bike hits the tree. Yeah, if the driver hits the tree, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah. Like they said, speed's never killed anyone, but suddenly being stopped.
Okay, Jeremy Clarkson, calm down.
That is a fantastic line.
It is.
As much as
one of the greatest quotes ever made by a car person.
Yeah, as much as Clarkson pisses me off, he does have a couple good lines out there. I mean, yeah, he's a shitty person. I get it, but
is he?
All right.
I mean, he's British to start, so I feel like there's a immediate knock against him.
I think that's all it is.
No.
He's just an old British man. I think that's...
Okay, well, that's...
Yeah.
Anyway.
If you were born when it was still the Empire, you probably have some issues.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. If you remember imperialism.
If you look back fondly at imperialism, there's probably some issues there.
That's a big red flag. Red flag.
Yeah, back to the ownership issue in IndyCar. Back to Roger Penske's age.
Okay.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah, NASCAR is at Richmond this weekend. Should be a fun one. If if Byron wins, I swear to God, Taylor, you're banned from the podcast.
Why?
Just for a week. Just out of spite.
Why?
No, if Bell or Byron wins, if any one of your guys wins.
What about Wallace? What about Bubba?
Yeah, I'm okay with Bubba winning. I already put money on him.
Of course you did.
All right. What other 15 drivers did you put money on, Sean?
I only put money on 5 guys this weekend, okay?
Only. Did you hear the word only? That's the key word.
Wait,
only
hang on.
5 guys.
You don't eat cheeseburgers. What are you talking about? You have money on 5 guys.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. That's clever.
Uh-huh.
That actually was clever.
I feel like you're just getting a lot of clips out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I only took 5 guys, and
as the maker of the clips, I gotta squeeze content.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, actually, I didn't take Bubba. Yeah, so you should probably bet. You should bet on him, Taylor, because he'll win now that I didn't bet on him. Yeah, I thought I took him as my long shot, but no, it was Josh Berry I took.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair. Well, we'll see what happens. Is NASCAR the only thing racing this weekend? Because F1's next weekend. Yeah. Right, and then we're in the month-long wait till Indy.
Yeah, IndyCar is not back until the 21st.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that's the other thing with Thermal. It could have the could be worse thing is just nothing for an extra 2 weeks.
True.
So.
You know, I love the fact that NASCAR is looking more to expand its schedule than fucking IndyCar is. Like, NASCAR is looking to go to Mexico. It's looking, I think they were talking maybe in Brazil, looking to put a race, I think, in Montreal.
Yeah.
There's so much shit NASCAR is doing, and yet IndyCar's like, yeah, we talk about these things, but no one actually wants to spend the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a fucking poor man's league that thinks it's rich. Or it is rich, but it acts fucking poor.
Yeah.
They act elite.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, true.
It's
disappointing because there's so much potential.
Series, give it to Michael. Let Andretti run it. If he's pissed off enough at F1.
Yeah, true.
I don't think they should give it to a team owner though. I think it's even Penske owning it is wild. Like, can you imagine if like Ferrari bought F1? There'd be outrage.
However, I think Penske owning it was a good idea, because I was hoping at the time he would make it more like kart, because that was also team owned, but it was a collection of the teams that owned it.
True.
But unfortunately,
Like sharing the pot.
Yeah, Penske decided to go actually the NASCAR route and is still trying to push those fucking charters. Which
Such
I mean,
a bad idea.
yeah.
And no one likes the idea. It's a terrible idea.
No. Just give it to Michael. Let him actually make it into kart.
Mm-hmm. Might get better.
That came with its own political issues.
What, cart?
It only led to the split.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that little detail.
Okay, yeah, but that was
Okay,
the fucking.
To be
that,
fair,
that
I
was
don't know a lot.
That was the Georges being pissy that the Indy 500 didn't matter enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because it came less about the 500 and more about the actual kart championship. And they're like, no, the 500 should be the fucking crown jewel. And they wanted to bail on that and make the fucking IRL, which became oval only to start. And then, yeah. And we still live by that to this day in IndyCar, where the only thing that matters is the 500. That's how they make all their fucking money.
Pretty much.
And now they want to put in rules with like designated spots and fucking charters, and yeah, it's almost like the IRL one actually.
Oh boy.
God damn it, Roger! How far we fallen? Yeah.
In 3 years.
Hey, did anyone watch the Dan Weldon documentary yet, though? The Lionheart one?
Yes. Yes.
You guys
We
did?
watched it on the weekend again. Well, I watched it again. You watched it for the first time. Steven, you have not watched it yet.
I have not watched it yet.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, by the end of it, my heart was torn. Because it just felt so sad. But, like, oh my gosh. I can't imagine what Susie goes through.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
She
It
is
must
a
be,
boss.
like, she is a boss. Like, to let both of her, like, not just one, but, like, both of her sons, like, go through the path of getting into, like, an IndyCar one day or a Formula car. Like, we don't know after what happened to their father. But, oh my gosh. And, like, just the footage of that crash is just so nasty.
Oh, it's one of the
Yeah.
worst things I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Like
it's
that.
just, it.
That crash was awful. That race was fucking nuts. I think it like, I want to say it was like the 10th lap. Basically, it happened. Like, they just started the race, and then that happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, and the way, like, yeah, his car just flies to the air, ends up in the fence. Ugh, everything about that I hate.
It was really, like, I felt like it was a really well done documentary, though. Like, it was nice to kind of have the mix between, like, Dan Weldon's story, but also, like, what
kids.
his sons are doing.
And what Susie's doing.
And Susie, yeah, how Susie's doing. And
Yeah, she's a boss.
I thought it was really cool. Yeah, she is a boss, 10 out of 10.
Do you know she's not American?
She isn't? Where's she from?
Canadian.
Really? Yeah!
Which
I do
means
think it was interesting watching it this weekend in particular, because good portion of that movie is them talking about how the $1 million dash that he was doing at the time was a gimmick that they didn't need, and we watched it on a weekend where the entire event was a gimmick for cash.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that when we were talking about Thermal. I was like, this sounds so familiar.
Huh. Yeah, there's a reason they don't do that on an oval anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I actually remember one of the worst things of like the event, the Las Vegas, was before they announced it, they'd actually like had a meeting with all the drivers, and drivers were coming out of that meeting, and fucking Tony Kanaan was just sobbing, leaving the meeting. Which was like the big tell of like, yeah, he didn't make it. And even to that point of like, there was the one clip, which I actually really liked in the Lionheart documentary, which was when Franchitti was getting back in his car at the race before they did like the salute, and he is just sobbing in the car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't remember ever seeing that shot, but I'm glad like they got that and put that in there, because yeah, like that's tough on the drivers, and I guess the whole like dream team era of Andretti too.
Yeah.
Like how interconnected that is and stuff, and yeah.
Yeah. It was really well done. It was sad, obviously, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting story.
Yeah, like the Weldon boys are going to make it at least into the road to Indy.
Yeah.
I assume they will race somewhere professionally, because they will have too many people around them through the IndyCar paddock and everywhere. Like, they're going to have to be put somewhere. They're going to be given the resources to succeed.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like towards the beginning or towards the middle, like we see that Andretti like signs whatever program, right? So, obviously, like they have the support of those guys, right, who raced with their dad, and they know a lot of these really big names that were in IndyCar, so, and they got backing from Andretti, so I'm sure like they're going to be given the resources to succeed, right? So.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And even like
if we see them
there was
in the future.
the one scene, I guess, in the movie when like they were just sitting at the table, I think chatting with like Colton Herta was there, I think Brian Hurd was there, Michael Andretti, like just chatting with the team. Like, wow, that's. Could you imagine being a kid and just being able to sit at that table with those guys? Like, for fuck's sakes.
Like, it's normal because Brian Herta raced with their dad, right? So like they probably like. Brian's probably known them since they were itty bitty, so
yeah, and he won the 500 with their dad.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Craziness.
Yeah. But yeah, because I think I'm interested to see how Sebastian is this year, because I think he's in USF Juniors this year. So he's up there. So if he actually does well, keep the hype train going.
Just got to keep momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the documentary would help with that too.
Yeah. I also thought, like, I think that documentary definitely showed Susie as the hero.
Absolutely.
Like, and even, like, the return to Las Vegas and her just fucking having a panic
attack. Oh my gosh. I was, like, I just, like, felt so, like, I felt so much for her in that moment. Like, you could see how, like, just visceral those feelings were for her still. To be back in that place.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't imagine how difficult that would be.
Oh.
I really can't.
Terrible. Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if that's her actual return to it, but to return to it in the context of the documentary and talking about your weekend there and how it's your weekend there with Dan was. Also, do not get matching tattoos the night before a fucking potentially dangerous outing.
But also, like, isn't it so, like, kind of nice that they did, though? Like,
yes,
you
like,
never know.
You just know the bad juju is there, right?
Well, yeah, that used to be kind of the norm with a lot of the drivers now even still write letters and stuff right before they get in the car.
Yep.
Because they know.
You just never know.
It's always a chance.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad. It's like you just never know, and like in that moment, that's what they did, and then just know that happened the next day. I was just like, yeah, I was totally sobbing. The first time I watched that, I was like just so teary-eyed.
Yeah, they did a good job also of not making it too sad and like kind of, I would say like sprinkling the sad here and there in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they knew what the subject matter was. They knew that there was going to come a point where it was going to be really sad because he passed away in that accident.
Yeah.
But to kind of break it up with what the boys are doing now, and then like how Susie's doing, I think it was really well done. It was handled really well.
I think actually some of the worst parts is when I think it was like Tony Kanaan and like Brian Herta are actually the ones crying. And they're mad, like,
that was brutal.
Damn it, I was doing so good.
I was doing so good. I promised myself I wasn't going to do this.
Yeah. But yeah, that was I think it's a good documentary, and I think IndyCar needs to do more of that stuff. I don't know if we talked about the 100 Days to Indy going on Netflix last week at all.
Oh no, we didn't.
Oh,
But
is it on Netflix?
It's going to be, yeah. And like those are things that, wow, someone in IndyCar is actually fucking paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't know who. Maybe
Someone's making good decisions.
maybe they hired someone in marketing under the age of 40. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the other thing we didn't talk about. Thermal. They had Connor Daly out to the track to basically just be their social media guy.
They had a bunch of people out in social media. They had, who was it? I know they had the Track Talk girls. They were out there at the thing, and again, Canadians represent. Good job, because they were one of their like social media guests, and they had, who else was it? But yeah, they had like a whole bunch of other, I guess, yeah, like influencers, I guess, out there promoting it, which is what you need. You need people want to give a shit about your sport. Like,
What a thought.
when fans give more of a shit than ownership, I always feel like that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And like, it's not toxic fans. Like, I really do not think IndyCar has toxic fans. Like, there's not really problematic IndyCar fans who are like, keep certain demographics out of my sport fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's,
No, you can go
I
ahead.
was gonna say I think IndyCar is more.
Sorry,
It's a lot.
You could have to Peter say it again.
No, IndyCar is a lot more of a family, I think, than a lot of the other racing series. Right?
Yeah.
Like all the teams are family teams, and all that. Like a lot of the crews are family, right? Like I think it's more family based, which is why it can be a little bit more inclusive that way.
Yeah, definitely.
On the other hand, if you're not one of those families, it's hard to break into that sport.
But like, even the last few years, you've seen like Yunkos come out of nowhere and kind of get a team going that's somewhat competitive. Meyer Shank got into it. Abel is trying to get in slowly. So there is a way still to get in, unlike other series. Not gonna name any names.
Not naming any names. F1.
I'll say it rhymes with Formula One.
Formula One.
I don't know. But yes. Okay, there, Jean Girard. Formula.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, anything else we got to talk about for motorsport stuff?
I was gonna say we did miss one thing with F1.
Yes.
Did we?
Sargent getting booted from his
yeah.
seat.
Oh.
Right. Right.
Okay. But would any one of us, if you're all in charge of Williams, do you make a different call?
No.
No.
No. Absolutely not. We make the same call. Come on.
Yeah.
I will just applaud the fact that a bunch of people went on social media afterwards and it was like, really? Andretti can't get in because they don't think they'll be competitive enough, but we have to put up with this bullshit.
You see fucking Sauber pit stops looking like fucking 1980s out there.
Oh,
They got one under 50 seconds for the first time.
Yeah, but it's Andretti would be bad for the sport.
I know.
Fucking
I know.
karma.
I mean, we have done that rant so many times on this podcast because like we all feel the same way. It's dumb. It's bull.
Every time one of the bottom three teams does something stupid this year, Steven, you got to clip it and just the tweet is Andretti is bad for value.
Yeah.
Like every time. And see how many times by the end of the year they actually, like, it's at least once a weekend, I swear.
I'll take an over on that.
Like, I guarantee Andretti would have at least brought a spare fucking chassis.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I could understand it a little bit more if it was like last year's schedule where I don't think they stayed in the... I'm trying to remember what the last year's schedule was. Did they leave like the Pacific and go somewhere else? Either way, fucking stupid.
Yeah, like, to me, it's like
You're
it's like
down-
that
you-
scene out of what is it? 2.5 Men. I think I forgot something. It can't be that important if you forgot it. Spare chassis.
I mean,
Spare chassis. Yeah.
the positive side to it is, I mean, from a management decision at Williams, it's a gamble to not build a third chassis, but at least it means they're trying to develop. So hopefully
Yes.
down the line they'll be faster, right?
Hopefully.
It's a gamble that didn't work out, but had the crash not occurred, no one would have even known.
That's true.
They would have just eventually turned up with a quick car. Unfortunately, now their development's gonna.
However, on the flip side of that, you didn't even change anything the point wise. So like, you could have just brought one car the whole time. Just said, "Oh yeah, Sargent had a surgery. Yeah, that was it."
He also got an
Mysterious
organ
surgery.
removed.
Is that the thing? You get an organ removed and you win the next race?
It's weight saving.
Albon had his removed.
Did he win? And what happened?
Get
Was
points.
he at Williams when that happened? Or was he at?
Did he get points?
Was that in his Red Bull? I was gonna say if he was at Red Bull, then him.
Oh, well.
If it was at Williams, then it was Williams.
Okay. I don't know.
I'd look
don't
it up, but I
remember.
don't know where to start searching for Alex Albon's surgery. I don't know.
Albon appendix removed. Did he win?
But of the
he was,
two,
he
if
was
I
at
gonna
Williams.
9,
Oh, he's at
2022.
Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he got points after. I can't remember that being a thing.
Fuck, he almost died apparently in that surgery.
What?
Yeah, he had big complications with it. Just went
Yeah,
south.
he had respiratory failure.
He died briefly.
Oh my gosh.
I think he missed a race. Like he actually missed or 2 races. I think.
2 races? Well, I was going to say Sainz did miss a race.
Yeah, he did.
If Albon missed 2 races. then
And
that
he
would
won
be
a race, and he's still not ahead of McLaren for the championship,
flaws.
which is also going to be fun. How many guys in the F1 championship pass Behrman? It's really fun just seeing his name just there and all the guys below him still.
Good for him, honestly. Good for him.
Like, I'm going to guess 10 guys pass him and 10 guys don't. He's the cutoff.
Yeah, honestly, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Like, how many times are you going to score enough points? Because, like, what's the F1 standings?
You have it up.
Pulling it up now.
Max Verstappen, of course.
So, Behrman's 12th in points.
Yeah. Hulkenberg still has to pass him. Magnussen still has to pass him. And then the rest of them have 0. Oh.
But
Ooh,
there
Alpine.
There are people who will get points. Like Albon's going to get points.
At some point.
But is he
Both
going to
Oscars
get
get
6
point.
points?
Yeah, there's so many races this year. Finishes in the top 10 6 times.
But
True.
then
I think
you
that car is
need the
considered-
top 5 not to finish.
Yeah, that's true. I feel there's a lot of different like scenarios that have to happen for that to happen. So like it's just gonna be interesting to see how this ends up at the end of the year. Where will
Yeah.
Behrman place? Over under 12. Well,
Okay,
It'll
over
have to be
under 13 and a half.
13 and a half.
I think he'll drop down. You're gonna get
Yeah, I'll
races
say-
like Baku, right, where there's big list of DNFs, and if you get a little bit of rain at Monaco.
I'm gonna say he
10 car.
places a solid 15th.
I'm going to say 13th. I think one more guy might pass him.
All right. I like 14.
16 or 17.
You think 16 or 17?
Yeah,
You have a
well,
lot of faith in the rest of the
the
grid, man.
The Haas cars are working together. They're both below him right now. They've been working together to get points. If they keep doing that, they'll both get 6 points.
maybe.
Yeah.
Albon's gonna get 6 points. Ricardo's gonna get 6
Yep.
points.
Okay. That
Okay,
currently
it's
that is
too-
a big.
It is way too early to have Ricardo in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yuki's already got 6.
Okay, well he has to actually do well, so we'll see. TBD. Just
Like,
saying.
Yuki is the only guy not of the top five teams who's past Behrman.
Mm-hmm.
So that means for everyone else to pass Behrman, they also have to pass Yuki.
Yes.
Or Yuki doesn't finish. Like, there's just so much that happens. Like, I don't really see many guys getting that many points.
It just depends on, like, I mean, like, I feel like Japan is also a good one to just kind of, like, see where things pan out.
It's a terrible fucking pun.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but
It's the
I can
longest
see, like, 14th.
season in F1 history.
That's true.
Like,
It is.
there's still 21 races to go.
That's
And
ridiculous.
there's some tricky tracks, and if it rains in Japan, which it inevitably will,
You cancel the race.
you'll lose cars there, right?
Cancel the
China,
race.
rain in China. We're in that season for them, right?
Oh, I forgot China's back this year.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
That
good.
actually is usually a good race, so.
Oh, it's after Japan?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how many times are we gonna be?
That's how it should
Yeah,
be.
that's
Keep
fair.
it regionalized. Don't be like one
Yeah.
back and over the place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for a series that says that they want to be carbon neutral by 2030, that makes the most sense.
Steven, what do you got there?
Sunday in Japan, 100% chance of rain, 20 millimeters.
Okay, that's a week
It's
away
rain
though.
season in Asia, right?
Yes.
It's raining season in Asia.
Oh
You
man.
look at the Malaysia when it used to happen 8 years ago. They always did it. It was the third or fourth race, and it rained every weekend.
Yep.
It's rain season in Asia.
Love that. Well,
Yay. That should
All
be
right.
fun.
that should be fun. Can't wait to stay up till 3 a.m.
Yes.
for a red flag race.
Is that all we got for this week?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well, on that note, thank you very much for listening to this episode. Do all the liking stuff, subscribing stuff, comment stuff, all the fun things people ask you to do, and we'll be back next week. Thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.